We had a lot of fun in Fort Worth, y'all. Here's a glimpse at some of the things we saw while we were there. Hey everybody, welcome back to our channel. Have you ever been in the world's largest honky-tonk? Stick around to the end of the video to find out if we got to go in or not. When we first arrived to Fort Worth, we turned a corner and were surprised to see an actual cowboy pulling a stagecoach. As we entered the Stockyards right behind Billy Bob's, we started seeing some interesting things like a really large spur, a very huge belt buckle. You already saw the cowboy boots at the beginning of the video. Then we came upon the John Wayne American Experience. This was something I knew I wanted to see because my mom was a huge fan of John Wayne. She would have loved seeing this place, and I'm sure if she were there with us, she would have bought some sort of merch or decor for her house. We thought some of the sayings on the t-shirts and artwork was very accurate. If you want to hear about more of the places we've been or will go to in the future, please hit the like button and subscribe so you'll be notified. Here we are just walking around the streets of the Stockyard. We usually film with a phone camera and an Insta360 so we can have a way to show you different views and catch some things that we normally wouldn't be able to catch. At this part of the walk, we are on the same street that they do the cattle drive on each day. As you can see, there is some neat architecture, some pretty neat places that look like they'd be fun to go into to shop, and also some cool restaurants and hangouts. Not only did we see this Wrangler store, but there were plenty of people wearing Wranglers, cowboy hats, and cowboy boots. At this point, we started seeing things that were related to Bass Pro and NASCAR and fishing, and wasn't sure what was going on. This is one of the many art sculptures that's along the Stockyard Exchange route. It felt like there was something to see around every corner. I should also mention that there were Texas flags everywhere. I'm kind of thinking now we should have counted just to see how many there were in the Stockyard section of Fort Worth.
Any place that I've ever been to that was specialized around business hasn't been all that.
Talking to this man is where we learned that the Bassmasters tournament was happening at a nearby lake. There were cowboys everywhere, which we expected. What we didn't expect to see was a NASCAR sitting in the streets of the Stockyard. It was there because the Bassmasters tournament was being held that week. Next, we started seeing some Longhorns. There were 3 along the sidewalk here where people could sit on them and have their picture taken if they wanted to. Here we are coming up on one of the Longhorns that people can pay to sit on and have their picture taken. I know we already showed a picture of the Longhorn, but this is the Insta360 view. People definitely started gathering in the area when they saw the Longhorns being brought out. There were even Longhorns on some of the vehicles. This is another one that people could use for a photo opportunity. You have to pay for that, of course, but look at the ring in his nose. This display lets kids of any age truly understand how long these cattle horns are by letting them measure the length of their reach against the horns. Okay, here come the Longhorns. We did film the whole thing. It only lasted about a minute.
Western character. The cowboy grit, rugged independence, so ingrained in the Texas spirit. That spirit is still here, and you are a part of it. So we should perhaps say howdy as the Texas Longhorns pass by with our drovers. In the Stockyard, your days need attention.
Oh, that's not massive.
Huge.
He's going to turn his head sideways because he's hitting that other one. Oh. We chose to show you 2 different views here. The bigger screen is from the Insta360 camera and the smaller screen is from my iPhone. 2 totally different viewpoints of a very cool experience. If you ever get the chance to see this in person, please go do it. Even the best video can't capture the feeling you get by being there. The shops in this area are in an old stable, which is really nostalgic. And come on, I'm not the only one that remembers one of these, right? It took us back to when we were kids, for sure. There was another car with horns and some shows going on that were kind of like reenactments. We didn't catch any of those on video. While you're watching us walk around for a few minutes, I'll go ahead and tell you that I was born in Texas and lived there till my early teenage years. That is part of where I get my lovely accent from. You'll hear later that I mentioned something about the howdy y'all. I say y'all all the time, and people constantly don't believe that I'm from Indiana. And then when I tell them that I'm from Texas originally, it totally makes sense to them. We absolutely love this sign that said, howdy y'all. Can't get any more Texas than that. After we walked around for a bit, we went to Second Rodeo Brewing. This ain't your first rodeo. We both had a delicious beer. I had a red ale and Brian had an IPA. We sit and listen to a single artist, and at this point he was warming up. The vibe in this place was really cool, and we got to thinking that it would be really neat to be there on a Friday or Saturday night. After seeing how long the food lines were getting and the most wanted list, we decided it was time to hightail it out of there. It's fitting that this is what we see as we're leaving the Stockyards, because our next stop is Arlington to go to the Dallas Cowboys Stadium, or the AT&T Stadium, to get Brian a jersey. He managed to find the only jersey he wanted, and him and this guy talked football for a few minutes. Being able to come here on this trip made this a special one for Brian, and seeing Tom Landry's fedora plastered all over town made it even more special. Okay, so back to Billy Bob's. We were totally prepared to go in, grab a beer, buy some merch. I had actually already told Brian that I wanted to buy a t-shirt or a sweatshirt from there. Then we found out that they charged to just walk in the door. If our plan was just to go inside and take pictures, and I'm sure they get that a lot, then we would have been fine with that, but we were actually going inside to spend money on their products, so we decided not to do that. Anyway, hope you get a chance to go enjoy this unique experience, and thank you again for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Or should I say, y'all come back now, are you here?